Have you ever had a thought so private, so fleeting that you believed it was yours alone? What if someone else could hear it? This question is not just the beginning of a science fiction story anymore. For a growing number of people around the world, it is the start of a terrifying daily reality they are trying to understand and explain. They talk about hearing voices that no one else can hear, feeling sensations that have no physical cause, having their innermost thoughts broadcasted as if on a radio. This experience has pushed many to the fringes of society, leaving them isolated and often disbelieved. They are caught in a confusing world, trying to determine what is real and what might be a new, invisible form of psychological warfare. They speak of remote neural monitoring, or RNM, which they believe is a technology capable of reading a person's thoughts from a distance. They describe voice-to-skull technology, or V2K, as a method for transmitting sounds and voices directly into someone's head, bypassing the ears entirely. Together, these ideas fall under the umbrella of synthetic telepathy, a term for technologically enabled mind-to-mind communication. For those who believe they are targeted, this is not a fantasy. It is a frightening and invasive assault on their very being, a violation of the last truly private space, the human mind. The question for all of us is whether this is a modern delusion or a glimpse into a hidden technological frontier. As we stand here on November 6, 2025, the line between advanced science and speculative fiction has become increasingly blurry. We live in an age where brain-computer interfaces are helping paralyzed individuals communicate, and where artificial intelligence can predict our behavior with unnerving accuracy. This rapid technological progress makes it more difficult to dismiss claims that once seemed impossible. Is it conceivable that secret government programs or private entities have developed capabilities far beyond what is publicly known? The debate is fierce, pitting personal testimony against the established limits of scientific consensus. It is a debate that forces us to confront difficult questions about privacy, consent, and the very nature of human consciousness. This essay will navigate this complex and often unsettling territory. We will explore the core concepts of RNM and V2K, examining them through the lens of history, current technology, and the lived experiences of those who call themselves targeted individuals. We will look at the historical precedents, from Cold War mind control experiments. To understand the world of those who feel targeted, we must first learn their language. The terms they use are specific and describe a very particular set of alleged experiences. The most central of these is remote neural monitoring, or RNM. RNM claim, a person's brain electrical activity is monitored from a distance, without their consent. Believers say the technology can decode brain signals. It translates thoughts. It translates memories. It translates sensory perceptions. That data can be read by an external operator. RNM is described as the ultimate form of surveillance. It sees directly into the mind, leaving no room for private contemplation. Another key term, voice-to-skull, or V2K. V2K. An outside source transmits audio into someone's consciousness. Voices, sounds, music, perceived as originating inside the head. Unlike hearing through the ears, it's an internal broadcast. The voices can be taunting, conversational, commanding, completely inaudible to others in the room. The experience is disorienting and isolating. It creates a reality not shared by others, often leading to accusations of mental illness from friends, family, or doctors. RNM and V2K are core components of synthetic telepathy. The idea, technology replicates telepathy, a direct link between two minds, or between a machine and a mind, a two-way street, thoughts read by RNM and information inserted by V2K. For believers, it's not neutral, it's a weapon, Psyops, a system for harassment, intimidation, control, designed to break down mental and emotional resilience over time. Targeted individuals report V2K content tied to their real-time thoughts, actions, environment. For instance, think of a private childhood memory. A voice mocks you moments later. A terrifying feedback loop. Trapped in a transparent glass box where every thought is judged. The fear of hidden government experiments on the human mind is not a new phenomenon. It has deep roots in the documented history of the 20th century, most notoriously in the CIA's Project MKUltra. Officially active from the 1950s to the 1970s, MKUltra was a sprawling and highly illegal program of human experiments. It was designed to identify and develop drugs and procedures for interrogations and torture. The program operated in extreme secrecy, often using unwitting American and Canadian citizens as test subjects. Its methods were brutal. High doses of psychoactive drugs like LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, psychological and verbal abuse. The documented goals of MKUltra were chillingly ambitious. Discredit people through aberrant behavior, alter personality structures, induce dependency on the interrogator. Sub-projects explored everything from creating amnesia to implanting suggestions into the subconscious mind. The Church Committee's 1975 exposure revealed intelligence agencies actively and unethically pursuing mind control. To evaluate the possibility of remote neural monitoring, we must first understand how we currently read the brain. Our modern methods are remarkable, but they each come with significant limitations. The oldest and most direct method is the electroencephalogram, or EEG. This technique involves placing electrodes on the scalp to detect tiny electrical pulses. An EEG is excellent at measuring the timing of brain activity, down to the millisecond. It can tell us if a person is asleep, awake, or having a seizure. However, its spatial resolution is poor. It cannot pinpoint the exact location of the activity or decipher the complex content of a specific thought. It hears the roar of the crowd, not the whisper of a single person. A more advanced technique is functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI. fMRI does not measure electrical activity directly. Instead, it measures changes in blood flow in the brain. When a brain area becomes more active, it requires more oxygen. fMRI detects the magnetic signature of oxygenated blood. This provides a high-resolution map of which parts of the brain are working during a task. However, fMRI is incredibly slow. The blood flow response lags several seconds behind neural activity. It requires a person to lie perfectly still inside a massive multi-ton magnet, making it entirely unsuitable for remote or covert monitoring. The most precise method involves direct implants, brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. BCIs are arrays of tiny electrodes placed on or into brain tissue. They can record individual neurons firing with incredible fidelity. BCIs have allowed paralyzed people to control robotic arms. They have enabled typing on a computer. They have even enabled speech through a digital avatar. The concept of voice-to-skull technology, or hearing voices without an external sound source, might seem impossible, but it is connected to a scientifically documented phenomenon known as the microwave auditory effect, or the Frey effect. Discovered during World War II and later studied by neuroscientist Alan H. Frey in the 1960s, the effect shows pulsed microwave radiation can be perceived as sound. The microwaves don't create sound in the air. Instead, tiny, rapid thermal expansion happens in the head. That expansion creates a pressure wave that travels through bone to the inner ear. The cochlea detects the pressure wave and sends signals to the brain, which interprets them as clicking, buzzing, hissing. This effect is real and has been replicated in labs. A 1998 U.S. patent even describes using the radio frequency hearing effect to transmit speech. The patent describes a transmitter sending pulsed and modulated microwave signals, which, when aimed at a person's head, could be demodulated by the brain as intelligible words. That gives a theoretical scientific basis for some V2K claims. But there are huge practical challenges to weaponizing this. The primary obstacle is power. Transmitting clear speech at distance needs massive focused energy. That would require a large, powerful transmitter, likely easy to detect. Section 6. The human element. voices of the targeted. Beyond the science and technology, there is a deeply human side that cannot be ignored. The people who identify as targeted individuals, or TIs, are living with a daily reality terrifying, isolating, debilitating. They report a consistent pattern of experiences that they believe constitute a coordinated campaign of harassment. This often goes far beyond just RNM V2K. They describe organized stalking, gang stalking. They feel they are being followed, monitored, harassed by large groups of people in public. This can manifest as strangers making comments related to private thoughts, cars flashing headlights in specific patterns, constant noise campaigns designed to disrupt sleep and sanity. The psychological toll is immense, regardless of origin. Living in a state of constant hypervigilance, feeling watched and judged at all times, is profoundly damaging. TIs often suffer from severe anxiety, depression, paranoia, social isolation. Relationships with family and friends can fracture. Loved ones struggle to understand experiences they cannot see or hear. Many lose jobs and financial stability as the ability to function is eroded by constant stress and harassment. The suffering is undeniable. Listening to their testimonies reveals a deep sense of betrayal and a desperate search for validation and help. Many targeted individuals link their experiences to extreme psychological abuse, sometimes described as a high-tech version of narcissistic abuse. This framework suggests the goal isn't necessarily to extract information, but to systematically break down a person's sense of self, their confidence, their connection to reality. The tactics described, gaslighting, constant criticism, sleep deprivation, social isolation, are classic psychological control methods. When combined with alleged technologies like V2K, the abuser can feel omnipresent, omniscient, leaving no escape, not even in the privacy of one's mind. This creates learned helplessness and profound psychological trauma. Approach these testimonies with respect and empathy. Dismissing them outright invalidates real suffering and closes the door on possible discoveries. Throughout history, dismissed phenomena were later found to have physical bases. Whether the source is secret technology, a neurological condition, environmental factors, or a psychosocial phenomenon, these people deserve to be heard. Their accounts form a body of evidence pointing to a serious, widespread problem. Our first responsibility is to listen without prejudice and seek to understand the harm being done. Section 7. Reality. Check the limits of today's technology. While it is essential to listen to personal testimonies, it is equally important to ground the discussion in the known realities of current science. As of 2025, there is no publicly available, peer-reviewed evidence to support the existence of a technology capable of remotely decoding complex, specific thoughts from a non-cooperative subject's brain. The leap from measuring general brain states with an EEG to plucking fully formed sentences and images from someone's mind across a distance is astronomically large. It would require overcoming fundamental principles of physics, such as the inverse square law, which dictates that the strength of a signal weakens dramatically with distance. The brain's electrical signals are infinitesimally weak and are shielded by the skull, making them incredibly difficult to detect from even a few inches away, let alone from a satellite or a neighboring building. The computational challenge is just as daunting. The human brain is the most complex object in the known universe, with an estimated 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others. Even if we could capture a perfect signal of all this activity, decoding it into coherent thoughts would be a monumental task. The AI systems that can decode speech from brain implants work because they are trained for hundreds of hours on a specific person's unique neural patterns for a limited set of words, for a limited set of movements. To create a universal thought reader that works on anyone without prior training or calibration is a problem of a completely different order of magnitude. It remains firmly in the realm of science fiction for the foreseeable future. That said, the future may hold different possibilities. The rapid advancement of brain-computer interfaces coupled with the exponential growth of artificial intelligence is pushing the boundaries of what is possible. As implants become more sophisticated and less invasive, and as AI becomes better at pattern recognition, the prospect of more advanced neural decoding becomes more plausible. It is conceivable that within the next few decades, technology could exist that would enable a much deeper level of brain reading, at least in cooperative subjects with implants. This raises significant future ethical risks. A future where corporations or governments could access thoughts via a mandatory neural implant or an opt-in neural implant is a dystopian scenario that we must begin to consider and regulate against. Now, therefore, the most balanced view is one that acknowledges both the present limitations and the future risks. The specific claims of RNM as it is currently described by targeted individuals do not align with our current public understanding of science. However, the core fear, that technology could one day breach the final frontier of privacy, the mind, is not unfounded. The trajectory of neurotechnology and AI points toward a future where some form of thought reading may become a reality, albeit likely in a limited, invasive form at first. This underscores the urgent need for proactive ethical discussions and the establishment of neurorights to protect cognitive liberty, mental privacy, and free will before the technology outpaces our ability to control it. Section 8. A practical path forward for those in distress. For anyone who feels they are being targeted by these technologies, the experience is isolating and terrifying. Navigating this situation requires a calm, methodical, and multifaceted approach. The very first step should always be a comprehensive medical and environmental checkup. Rule out underlying medical conditions, neurological disorders, infections, nutrient deficiencies. Have your home checked for environmental factors, faulty wiring and electromagnetic fields, carbon monoxide leaks, infrasound from nearby machinery. This is not about dismissing your experience. It is about gathering data and methodically eliminating other possible explanations. The second step is to meticulously document everything. Keep a detailed journal of your experiences. Note the time, note the date, note the location, note the specific nature of the phenomena. What did the voices say? What sensations did you feel? Were there any unusual events in your environment at the same time? If you believe you are being stalked, document license plates. Document descriptions of individuals. Document patterns of behavior. Try to capture evidence using video recorders. Try to capture evidence using audio recorders. While V2K may be inaudible to a microphone, organized stalking or noise campaigns might be captured. This log helps you identify patterns. This log provides a concrete record for law enforcement, journalists, or legal professionals. Finding a support network is crucial for mental well-being. The isolation that comes with these experiences is one of the most damaging aspects. Seek out trusted friends. Seek out family members. There are also online communities. There are support groups for targeted individuals. These groups can provide validation and shared coping strategies. Be cautious. Prefer groups focused on constructive solutions. Avoid groups that exclusively promote fear or unsubstantiated paranoia. Finally, take practical steps to secure your environment. Counter surveillance or shielding. Faraday cages or shielding fabrics. Other shielding materials. Use white noise generators to drown out perceived transmissions. The scientific efficacy of these methods is debatable. They can still provide a sense of control and help reduce anxiety. Focus on practical actions, improving your health, gathering evidence, building support, securing your space. These steps can empower you and help you reclaim a sense of agency over your life. Section 9. Conclusion. Forging a future of ethical oversight and human dignity. The phenomenon of remote neural monitoring and voice-to-skull technology forces us into a difficult but necessary conversation. Technology, human rights, mental health. We are faced with two parallel truths that must be held in balance. The first is the undeniable and profound suffering of thousands of individuals who believe they are the victims of a non-consensual, high-tech assault. Their pain, fear, and isolation are real, demanding compassion, respect, and a serious effort to understand their experiences. The second truth is that the capabilities described far exceed known science. Phenomena like the microwave auditory effect provide a sliver of plausibility, but the gap to a reliable, remote mind-reading system is immense. Acknowledging this reality lets us separate what is currently possible from what is speculative. Environmental factors, novel neurological conditions, and psychosocial dynamics in a connected age. We must advocate for open, transparent research into directed energy effects and neurotechnologies. If such weapons are being developed in secret, public oversight is the only antidote. MKUltra teaches we cannot be naive about abuse. We must demand stronger legal and ethical frameworks, neurorights, designating the brain a sacrosanct space, off-limits to unauthorized intrusion, whether by a government agency or a tech corporation. Ultimately, we must navigate with reason and compassion. Support those who are suffering with practical help and open-minded investigation, while upholding rigorous scientific standards. By fostering open dialogue, demanding accountability, and treating every testimony with dignity, we can move from the shadows of conspiracy and fear into the light of understanding and collective protection for all.